Tom Carter is an infamous thief known as the Out Bandit. When he decides to make an honest living, he tries to turn himself into the FBI, but he'll run into the wrong people.
Seems like a nice movie, but I ain't got time for that. Please do me a recap.
Okay.
Hey you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Bon visionnage.
The film starts with Tom Carter, aka the Out Bandit, played by Liam Neeson, breaking into a safe, as this is the last heist he is planning to undertake. He later goes to find work at a self-storage warehouse where he meets Annie, a grad student. As Tom prepares to make an honest living, he finds himself chatting Annie up, and she seems to find him charming. 1 year later, Tom and Annie are in a relationship. He brings her to an apartment he wants to buy for them, but they are technically breaking in. She likes the place, and he is preparing to create a stable future for the two of them. In the city, FBI agent Myers goes to work with his dog. He tells his superior, Agent Baker, that he is going through a divorce, and that his wife is letting him keep the dog. Moments later, Tom calls the office to turn himself in and reveal himself as the Out Bandit, as well as complain that he hates that moniker. Since the FBI has gotten multiple bandit confessions, they don't believe him and ask why he wants to turn himself in. He tells them he is in love with Annie and that he wants a fresh start. Unconvinced, Baker sends other agents Nivens and Hall to interview Tom. When the two agents arrive at Tom's apartment, he tells them about a storage unit containing all the money he has stashed from past robberies. The agents go to the storage unit and are surprised to discover that Tom was telling the truth since he has millions of dollars stashed there. Nivens tries to get Hall in on a scheme where they pocket the money themselves, since Nivens knows Hall needs extra money to support his family. Hall reluctantly goes along with it. On their way out, the agents run into Annie, and they lie by saying they know Tom. The agents return to Tom's apartment. Nivens pulls out his gun in an attempt to execute Tom right there and steal the money, but the plan is interrupted when Baker shows up at the apartment. On impulse, Nivens shoots and kills Baker. Tom fights Nivens and Hall, leading him to fall out a window with Nivens, just as Annie is walking by. Though she is horrified, Tom tells her to run as they get away from the corrupt agents. Meanwhile, Nivens and Hall drive away trying to cover up the story, with Nivens wanting to frame Tom. Hall also knows Tom took his gun. Tom drives Annie to safety, but he is forced to come clean then and there about his past as a thief. He tells Annie the truth but says he truly wants to do right by her. She is highly dismayed at this news, even as Tom tries to be forthcoming about his intentions. Nivens and Hall pursue them on the road until Tom's car crashes. He and Annie hide out in a parking garage until they lose Nivens, and Tom hotwires another car to get away. At the same time, Myers goes to the apartment to discover Baker's body and later has to inform Baker's wife of his death. Tom and Annie go to a playground for the time being. She is still angry at discovering his truth. He tells her about how his father lost his job after the CEO of his company embezzled from the employees, and his father committed suicide by driving a high speed into a tree. Tom later robbed from the same CEO. He admits that robbing gave him life, but everything changed when he met Annie. She slowly starts to forgive him, and he gets her home safe. In the morning, Myers investigates Tom's past with Nivens and Hall after the former agent lies to Myers about who killed Baker. They learn that his real last name is Dolan and that he was a Marine, which is where he learned about explosives and demolition. At the same time, Tom digs up information on Nivens. Annie calls Tom about getting footage from the storage warehouse that would implicate Nivens and Hall in stealing the money. When Annie does go get it, she is found by Nivens, who attacks her. Although Annie puts up a fight, Nivens knocks her out. He tries to shoot her dead, but Hall intervenes and takes the security footage from Annie. Tom finds Annie and takes her to a hospital. He then contacts Nivens and Hall, and Myers listens in from his own phone. Tom calls out Nivens for attacking Annie, but he denies it, and Tom vows to go after him. A nearby officer recognizes Tom and chases after him. Nivens and Hall get wind of this and pursue as well. Tom loses the other cop and hides until he sees the agents, and he backs his van into their car. Nivens shoots at Tom, but he runs away and loses him. He runs into Myers and briefly fights him until he assures him that he is on his side and that he didn't kill Baker. After he tells Myers about Annie being hospitalized, the agent goes to sit in her room, where he later spots Nivens coming by to finish the job, but he leaves after seeing Myers. Later that night, Hall is in bed with his wife Beth discussing some of his personal feelings. He then goes to the garage where he is ambushed by Tom. Hall tells him everything was entirely Nivens' doing, and he gives Tom the security footage. He also warns Tom that Nivens is going to try and kill Annie, so he goes to visit her and sees that she is awake. He is able to get her out and bring her to a safe room. Annie joins Tom as he goes after Nivens. He plants a bomb in his house and warns him with enough time to run out before he blows up the house. Tom knew Nivens would lead him to the space where he and Hall are keeping their stolen loot. While Annie waits for Myers at the storage unit to find the rest of Tom's money. Tom finds Nivens and Hall there, leading to a shootout in which Hall is killed. Nivens tries to escape again and drives away in his car until Tom calls him and says that he put another bomb in his car, which is pressure sensitive and will detonate with the slightest movement. Nivens has no choice but to pull over and wait for the bomb squad to arrive. When they get there, they see that the bomb is a dud. With Myers having a recording where Nivens and Hall explicitly discuss having killed Baker, and with Nivens carrying stolen money, Myers has the feds arrest him. Outside FBI HQ, Annie speaks to Myers, asking him to go easy on Tom. Tom himself calls Myers to turn himself in, and Myers agrees to try and help Tom get a lighter sentence. Tom and Annie then embrace. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Let us know what you thought of the film in the comments. Lots of surprises await you on our Telegram channel, you will find the link in the description.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.